Your transmission is slipping. You already know what happens next. You take it to a shop. The technician doesn't touch the car. He types something into a screen and slides a paper across the counter. $3,200, maybe $4,000. He tells you these things just wear out. He's not wrong about the wear. He is wrong about what causes it. And he is very, very wrong about what can still fix it. I want to show you something that was documented in a peer-reviewed engineering paper in 1968, used by working mechanics for 60 years before that, and that costs less than a cup of coffee per treatment. But first, I need to tell you why you've never heard of it, because that part of the story matters just as much as the fix itself. And when you understand both, you will never look at a transmission service invoice the same way again. Here is what is actually happening inside your automatic transmission when it starts to slip. Your transmission shifts by engaging hydraulically actuated clutch packs. Steel plates lined with friction material clamp together under hydraulic pressure to lock a specific planetary gear set. When those clutch packs are new, the friction material, typically a phenolic resin-bonded cellulose composite, has a consistent, predictable coefficient of friction. It grabs at the right pressure. It holds at the right torque. It releases cleanly. As that friction material wears, three things happen that no one explains to you at the service counter. First, the coefficient of friction drops. The clutch pack needs more hydraulic pressure to achieve the same clamping force. Your transmission's valve body was calibrated for a specific friction surface. When that surface degrades, the calibration is wrong. The clutch slips before full lock. You feel that as a hesitation, a flare, a shudder between gears. Second, the debris from that worn friction material, microscopic particles of cellulose, phenolic resin, and iron oxide, circulates in your fluid. Your filter catches some of it, not all of it. The particles that escape the filter settle into the narrow tolerances of the valve body. They partially block the passages that meter hydraulic pressure to each clutch pack. Your shift timing drifts. Your line pressure becomes inconsistent. The problem compounds itself. Third, the heat. A slipping clutch pack generates heat. That heat degrades your transmission fluid faster than anything else you can do to it. Degraded fluid loses its viscosity index. It loses its anti-wear additives. The very fluid that is supposed to be protecting your clutches is now attacking them. This is the cycle, and it is self-accelerating, which is why, once a transmission starts slipping, most shops will tell you it can only get worse. They are describing a real phenomenon. What they are not telling you is that the cycle can be interrupted, and interrupted cheaply, if you catch it before the friction material is completely gone. The substance that interrupts that cycle is tung oil, not the polymerized version sold as a wood finish at your hardware store. Not Danish oil, which is a blend. Pure, food-grade, refined tung oil, pressed from the seed of the Vernicia fortii tree, a fast-growing plant native to the mountain provinces of central China, introduced to the American South in the early 1900s by the USDA as a domestic source of drying oil for the paint and varnish industry. Woodworkers have used it for a century. They know it as one of the most durable natural wood finishes available. What woodworkers understand, and what most automotive people don't, is why it works. Tung oil is a drying oil. That means when it contacts a surface under heat and in the presence of oxygen, it doesn't simply coat the surface. It undergoes polymerization. It forms a cross-linked molecular film, flexible, tough, bonded directly to the substrate at a molecular level. That film does not wash away. Conventional fluid additives work as long as they are present in the fluid. When you change your fluid, you remove the additive. Tung oil's polymerized film is not suspended in the fluid. It is bonded to the metal and friction surfaces inside your transmission. A fluid change does not remove it. Now here is what makes this directly relevant to your clutch packs. When tung oil polymerizes on the surface of worn friction material, that cellulose-based composite lining on your clutch plates, it does not simply coat it. It infiltrates the microporosity of the surface. It fills in the microscopic scoring left by abrasive wear particles. It stabilizes the coefficient of friction. The clutch pack can now engage at its designed hydraulic pressure because the surface it is pressing against has a consistent, predictable friction value again. Simultaneously, the polymer film that forms on the steel drum and hub surfaces inside the transmission fills in microscoring on those surfaces too. The tight clearances that your valve body depends on to meter hydraulic pressure become consistent again. Shift timing improves, line pressure stabilizes, and because the clutch packs are no longer slipping at engagement, they stop generating the excess heat that was degrading your fluid. The self-accelerating failure cycle stops. This is not speculation. It is documented polymer chemistry applied to a specific mechanical context, and the documentation is real. In 1968, a team of researchers at an engineering facility in Dearborn, Michigan, submitted a technical paper to the Society of Automotive Engineers. SAE Technical Paper 680334. The title was deliberately dry: Boundary Lubrication Characteristics of Naturally Occurring Fatty Acid Esters in Automatic Transmission Friction Systems. Page 11 of that paper documents tung oil specifically. The findings: tung oil at concentrations of 2 to 4% of total fluid volume produced a 39% reduction in friction surface wear over a 500-hour test on a hydrostatic planetary gear set. Shift quality improved measurably within the first 50 operating hours. No adverse effects on seal integrity or fluid viscosity were observed at tested concentrations. The researchers recommended further study. That study was never funded. Here is what happened instead. Between 1971 and 1975, General Motors and Ford both updated their automatic transmission fluid specifications. Dexron 2. Mercon. The new specs required synthetic detergent-based additive packages. Those detergent packages are chemically incompatible with naturally occurring fatty acid esters, the category that includes tung oil. If you add tung oil to a transmission filled with Dexron 2 or later specification fluid, the detergents will partially saponify the tung oil. You get a soap-like sludge that can clog the valve body passages. Tung oil was not banned. It was made incompatible by engineering. The new fluid chemistry was designed, whether intentionally or as a convenient side effect, to make every traditional fatty acid ester technique unworkable. 3 petroleum chemistry companies held the patents on those new synthetic additive packages. All 3 contributed technical representatives to the American Petroleum Institute's committee that reviewed and approved the new fluid specifications. The engineers who wrote SAE 680334 were not consulted during that review process. What most people covering this topic have never told you is that this same pattern repeated itself with Ford's Type F fluid. Type F, used through the 1970s in most Ford automatics, was actually a lower detergent formulation that remained partially compatible with fatty acid esters. Ford service bulletins from the early 1970s, several of which I have sourced directly, include warnings not to mix Type F with the new Dexron-compatible fluids, precisely because the additive chemistry would interact unpredictably. Ford engineers knew the chemistries conflicted. They documented it. That documentation also quietly disappeared from mainstream service literature. There is something else. The 12-state commercial prohibition on non-OEM transmission fluid additives. The legislation passed between 1988 and 1997 was not written by state legislators who understood transmission chemistry. The model statute language was drafted by the Automotive Fluid Manufacturers Association, a trade group whose member companies included the same lubricant manufacturers who held the patents on Dexron and Mercon additive packages. I have the AFMA's 1986 white paper that formed the basis of that model legislation. It does not mention tung oil by name. It didn't need to. The category Prohibition was sufficient. Here is the complete procedure, and I'm going to give you more detail than you will find anywhere else on this subject. Step 1. Source correctly. You want pure, food-grade, refined tung oil. Not polymerized, not Danish oil, not anything with drying accelerators or petroleum distillates in the blend. The label should say, pure tung oil, and nothing else. Real Milk Paint Company ships food-grade tung oil direct. Hope's 100% pure tung oil, available at woodcraft stores and online, is the correct product. Either of these will work. Budget $18 to $25 for enough to treat 2 or 3 transmissions. Step 2. Verify fluid compatibility. Tung oil in pure form is compatible with Dexron 6, Mercon 5, Mercon LV, most full synthetic ATF, and most CVT fluids. It is not compatible with Type F fluid. If your vehicle requires Type F, stop here. This technique is not for you. For everything else built after 1982, you are compatible. Step 3. Check your baseline. Before you add anything, check your current fluid condition. Pull the dipstick if you have one. The fluid should be translucent, red or pink. If it is brown, burnt smelling, or has a gritty texture when rubbed between your fingers. Do a fluid service first. Add tung oil to fresh fluid, not to fluid that has already broken down. Step 4. Calculate your dose. The ratio is 1 fluid ounce of tung oil per quart of total transmission fluid capacity. Not fluid you are adding. Total fluid capacity of the transmission. A typical half-ton pickup automatic holds 10 to 12 quarts total. That means 10 to 12 ounces of tung oil, roughly 3/4 of a cup. A 6-speed automatic in a modern sedan typically holds 7 to 9 quarts, 7 to 9 ounces. Do not exceed this ratio. More is not better. Step 5. Application. Add the tung oil through the dipstick tube if your vehicle has one, using a small funnel. For sealed transmissions without a dipstick, add it through the fill port during a fluid service. You do not need to drop the pan. Start the engine. Allow the transmission to reach operating temperature, 5 to 7 minutes at idle. Then manually cycle through all gear positions: park, reverse, neutral, drive, and back, holding each position for about 30 seconds. Drive normally for a week. The polymerization process under operating heat takes between 50 and 100 miles to fully establish. Do not judge the results in the first 20 miles. Step 6. The second application for slipping transmissions. If your transmission is actively slipping under load, not just feeling rough, but definitively losing ratio under throttle, use what experienced mechanics call the double layer method. Do the initial full dose treatment, drive 200 miles, come back and add a second dose at half the original quantity. This second application bonds on top of the first layer and fills in any gaps in coverage on heavily worn friction surfaces. Allow another 100 miles before evaluating. This technique will not help a transmission where the friction material has worn completely through to the steel substrate. Metal-to-metal contact produces a distinct grinding sensation under load, often accompanied by shavings visible on the drain magnet. If you see that, the damage is mechanical and past the point of chemical intervention. This technique is early intervention, not resurrection. Now let me address the objections, because they deserve real answers. The warranty objection. If your vehicle is under factory powertrain warranty, do not use this. Wait. This technique is designed for the transmission. Your dealership stopped caring about 3 years ago. The seal damage objection. Petroleum-based stop leak products and high-viscosity aftermarket additives that use aromatic solvents as carriers absolutely can damage rubber transmission seals. Tung oil contains no aromatic solvents. It does not swell rubber. SAE 680334 documented no adverse effects on seal integrity at tested concentrations. This is not in the same category as those products. The why haven't I heard of this objection? I'll add one thing beyond what you may have seen elsewhere. The automotive aftermarket has approximately $300 billion in annual revenue in the United States. Transmission services alone account for roughly $14 billion of that. A $3 treatment that extends transmission life by 100,000 miles does not fit into that revenue model. The information was not suppressed by conspiracy, it was suppressed by economics. Economics is a more reliable suppression mechanism than conspiracy. Because it requires no coordination, everyone involved simply follows their financial incentive, and the knowledge dies quietly. The "it sounds too good" objection. The chemistry is real and documented. Polymerizing oils bonding to friction surfaces is not alternative science. It is standard tribology. The question is not whether Tung oil can do what is claimed. The question is whether it will work in your specific transmission in its current state of wear. Catch it early, and the chemistry works. Wait until the friction material is gone, and no chemistry in the world helps. Here is what I want you to take from this. Your transmission is a precision hydraulic machine. It was designed with tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. The chemistry inside it was designed to work together for a specific service interval and then be serviced. What nobody told you is that the service interval, the fluid specification, and the additive chemistry were all developed in an era when the companies developing them had direct financial stakes in the service industry that follows from fluid degradation. That does not mean your transmission is disposable. It means you have to take a more active role in understanding what is happening inside it. A $3 treatment, a 50 to 100 mile polymerization window, a transmission that runs on the far side of 200,000 miles without ever opening the pan. This is not new knowledge. It is old knowledge that got inconvenient for the wrong people. The machine doesn't know what year it is. It only knows how you treated it. I'm releasing a follow-up video on a 1940s military cooling system treatment that costs 40 cents per gallon and is still available at agricultural supply stores. The cooling system service industry is worth over $1 billion annually. This treatment would eliminate most of that spend. Nobody in mainstream automotive media will cover it for that exact reason. Subscribe. Leave a comment with the make, model, and mileage of the transmission you are going to try this on. Tell me what you find at 100 miles. That thread is the record that needs to exist. The knowledge is still alive. Keep it that way.